On 2004 in Germany. That's a very cool thing. Yeah. I gave them your contact information. Were they? Did they contact you?
No.
Okay. Well, something must have happened. Maybe they sent it to you in German. You know. That didn't happen. No, but anyway, we had a wonderful convention there in Germany, and it was a lot of fun. And it was a lot like this, but yet a lot different. And this is the attire that they had me wear when they put me to work on their crew there. And Don was a special guest there, along with Stu Phillips. And we had a lot of fun. And Don,
we learned a lot.
Oh, we sure did. We sure did.
If AJ hadn't been there, AJ's like the guardian angel. And when he showed up, it was an empty room. I mean, these people were fantastic, lovely people. They had never done it before. They somehow talked Warner Brothers into using the park in Dusseldorf. It's actually outside of Dusseldorf. But it was a huge room, and it was empty. AJ shows up with his bag of tricks, putting stuff out, and then AJ and I grabbed a banner they had and ran outside and pasted it up. And we were both pretty much involved in supporting this. About 1,000 people came through there.
Wow.
And people from, oh, I like it.
Sorry.
Don't stop. People from Netherlands, people from France and Germany and England, the UK, the Knight Rider crews were there. And just a guy from Japan who sent me a wonderful email. And it was wonderful. It was great. But we're both, if you're the same as I am, I'm still bumping into stuff. I always said, oh, jet lag, not me.
Well, I haven't slept since we got back, because I came right back and we did all this.
And I tried to keep my watch on LA time thinking that would do it. I mean, I'm still bumping into stuff. And this is a little miracle. And some angels joined me. I went over to Universal Studios and I said, 22 years ago, I really wanted to put out a CD. You guys, in those days they were called an album. In those days they had vinyl. And they said, well, someday we'll do a Knight Rider CD. Well, here we are 22 years later, and it wasn't happening. So I went to the studio and I said, okay, whom do I speak to? And he said, well, you go over and see Joe Smith in the production department. He said, no, you go over and see Joe Smith in the sound department. And I went back and forth and on the phone. Finally, I said, hold it. Somebody talked to me. So 3 weeks, September the 18th was August the 18th was my date of flight to Germany. And nothing was happening. And I said, someone's got to talk to me here. And they said, well, what do you want to do? I said, I want to put out a Knight Rider CD, a real one. I want to go into the vault. I want to bring out the film, because it was recorded on mag film. I want to get the episodes. And the kids in Germany said, okay, they sent me this, the artwork. They said, these are the episodes we want. We like the Stevie. They wanted the Stevie episodes. When Catherine Hickman would play with David?
Sure.
They wanted the Stevie episodes. And so I went over to a guy that I know and said, okay, can you print this? So we printed this up. Universal got me in the vault and started making transfers for me. Unfortunately, they charged me because I'm not part of that scene. So $200 an hour, I'm over there looking for stuff, and I got the stuff, and I went back to my studio and used Pro Tools and edited. And I made a suite. Yeah, that's my feeling too. Here. He always does that to me. So each one of these, now Let It Be Me was a problem, because David sings in this episode, and Catherine sings in this episode, and I didn't have permission for that. So I edited up to where he starts to sing, and then I would take that out, and I'd put the rest of the instrumental. I did some pretty cool things, I thought. I ended up with 70 minutes of really good quality. This is an incredible pressing. Will you drag out the pressing for me? The actual disc?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Oh, it's in the car? It doesn't matter.
Well, I have it in stereo
anyway,
right now.
what I did was, I got the best pressing plant in California that makes, these are the CDs that are made for the big labels. Down in Anaheim, the best pressing you can get, the best material, best printing, got barcodes like grown-ups. It's a real universal approved CD. And the best thing is, thank you, sir. The best thing is it sounds good. It looks good. It's right. It's a real stamp master. It's not. It's what they call a glass master. I didn't get a chance to put any text in it. I didn't have time. But I'm so proud of it. And I've got a bunch of emails from people that went home and played it. The German emails are so funny because they speak English, but everything is kind of backwards, you know, and so it's, I can't pretend. Can you do it? Like I like the music, it. You know what I'm talking about? And by the way, we discovered tonight in our reunion that we're neighbors. And we live like blocks from each other. And we also are patrons of the same nursery where we buy all our plants. I mean, these are things you don't need to know.
Okay, good money to hear that.
So anyway, I'm just so thrilled that they gave me permission to do this. Stu Phillips is putting out the CD of the first 12 episodes, which include the pilot, and up to number 12. Then I took over in Hearts of Stone, and I did 77 shows. So this is 6 episodes here. This is volume 1, there will be volume 2. And volume 3, I want to be very careful and not put superfluous, episodes. I want the things that were meaningful. So when you all go to my website, I'd appreciate if you tell me what you want for volume 2. But I'm really excited about this, and I hope some of you will get it and listen to it. It sounds pretty cool. Unfortunately, I have to charge something for it because they charge me so much to make it. Story about the poster that's right there. The CD was ready on the 17th. I left on the 18th for Germany. So we're down in Anaheim picking up the CDs. We're throwing boxes in the car. We're racing back to the house. The next day, which was Wednesday, we're supposed to leave for Germany at 8 p.m. The guys told me, okay, the posters are ready. They made 4. There's 2 in Germany, there's 2 here. And they said, okay, meet me at Hollywood and Orange at the Hollywood Roosevelt. And so I drove down Hollywood Boulevard, I turned left on Orange, and he was standing there with the tube with the posters, threw it in the car, and we jetted to the airport. So this thing is like amazing that it happened. And I really believe I was escorted by angels. I got to Germany, the people were great, the fans asked really good questions, we had a good time. And it was just terrific. And so, but AJ and I were there in a way as emissaries. I feel like I'm part of this, and I feel like we were there from the U.S. and saying, hey, we support you guys. I want to bring some cars over next year. I want to get a container and put 4 cars in it and go over there and kick butt. Show them what we do. And I want to say something about what you said about filmmaking, because I've been making films a long time. I was playing guitar until 74, and I quit playing guitar for a while, and I started writing. Can you turn that down 1 notch, please? Yeah. Beautiful. Thanks, I'm sorry. And, I've done a lot of films. I did Wes Craven, 2 Wes Craven pictures, The Hills Have Eyes, and People Under the Stairs, which was also a Universal picture. I've done a lot of shows and stuff. Night Rider is very important in my life. But what you said about what films do and about the magic of film, I want to say one more thing. The motion pictures that we make are an American contribution to the world's culture. It's a very important thing that we do. And there are people in India that make a picture every week. There's a lot of movies being made, but the American films influence the world. And Hollywood, luckily, they're starting to bring back into the States. They're starting to see films being made in California again. We were driving the other day, and a friend of mine said, oh man, look, the street's all blocked, there's trucks. I said, dude, they're shooting a movie in Beverly Hills. He said, you're right. And so our industry went south. I mean, I had probably 10 years where the phone didn't ring, maybe once a year. I had some really, strange times. But then things started cranking up again. I believe this is going to be a good thing for me, just to document these shows and be able to hear the music without the sound effects. It's a fun thing for me. I want to mention something, because I get emails all the time with the tech guys. And they say, well, how many synthesizers did you use and how many overdubs did you do? What computers did you use? So, okay, number 1. Oh, there he is. Number 1, there were no computers. Number 2, there were no overdubs. Number 3, I orchestrated, I wrote out every part. We had 6 players playing synthesizers, and I ran a wire to each one of them. Their pictures making me crazy. I'm looking down at this, so I can't tell. Well, it's beautiful. So what I'm saying is that on the stage we had a legitimate orchestra, which included violins, violas, cello, French horns, trumpets. We had sometimes a real piano. Sometimes, like on Sound of the Roses, I hired a real harpsichord because I'm going into the classical realm there. So, and I studied a lot of legit. So I hired a legit orchestra, but in order to synchronize the synthesizers, I had a box that took the click track, because we recorded this in order to make the cuts on the film. So we send out a tempo to everybody, they listen to it, but with the synths I ran a wire to the synths. So they could go ding, 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 and it would match with what I was doing with the rest of the orchestra and with the film. But there was a guy at the studio with a great big console, and I had hired a man, and he was my guy, and he had the score. And so when the man from Universal would say, "Don, that's great, next," I'd say, "No, wait a minute, Carl, what do you think?" And Carl would say, "We need another take, the oboe has to be louder at bar 23. So I had my guy back there to protect me. And then I still finished in 4 hours. We scored a 20-minute show in 4 hours. And then I'd go into the room and I'd watch the next episode. And we'd make our notes. But anyway, so the mix was done to mono, to one track, and it was mixed right as we were going. And maybe 2-3 takes on each piece. And that's how we made Knight Rider. So, like when I called Universal, they said, "Oh, are you going to redo it?" And I said, "No, no, no, you can't. There's no possible way that you could recreate this. You couldn't get the instruments, you couldn't get the players. It can't be done." So I licensed it from Universal because they own the master. I'm the composer, but they own the master and they own the publishing. That's complicated stuff. Anyway, so that's Isaac. I'm Don. Any questions? Okay. So, oh, good.
How could you do 77 shows?
Well, there was a summer break. There was a hiatus. And I would drink coffee during a hiatus.
How did you find? How did you?
Well, I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story that will make it sound like anybody. And they would come in and they would sing. And that's how we did all these songs. White Bird. I did all that. Blum, 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 blum. I did all that. You know, I wrote it out. We had the guys come and play it. But the singers were not the original. The original band had broken up after one song. It was their only song.
I got a
It's
visual.
a Beautiful Day is the name of the band.
I have a visual effect for that.
Okay. And we found one of the guys. The band had broken up years ago, and one guy was living in a trailer. There it is. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Beautiful Day. It's their only hit. And so Robert Foster writes this into the script. So here I am, you know, I listen to it, I write it out, we play it. And we got some people to sing it. So I just wanted to talk about sound alikes, because I played guitar when I was with the Everly Brothers for 2 years, lead guitar. I was with Ray Charles for 10 years. First white guitarist with Ray Charles, probably there somewhere. And played with Brother Ray on all his records, and unfortunately was just at his funeral. And anyway, Barry White's records, Jackson 5, and all that stuff. So I was an R&B guy, so that's why I made all these tracks for the show. But if anybody wants the CD, I'm going to be over there a little bit, with a pile of them. And I don't know what else to say. If anybody